We can't fix the hopper because you wanted to watch a show.
A premium quality show.
It is not even a premium quality show.
Agree to disagree.
All right, humans, welcome. I'm the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week, I checked out the first season of MURDERBOT, and this 2025 TV series was based on the book, but the show stars Alexander Skarsgård, Nomi Dumunzwa, and Sabrina Wu, among others, of course. So what is the story of MURDERBOT? Well, like in any TV show these days, there's an overarching kind of story. With this one, it follows MURDERBOT, and he is a security robot that has hacked his own brain so that he doesn't have to follow the commands of the humans, but he still does so that he can kind of hide in plain sight. And so he is the security robot for this expedition team, and they're off on some planet and they're looking for, well, it's never really kind of said what they're looking for, maybe alien artifacts and something like that. But they're on this planet and they got things to do, go research over there, go fight this creature over there. There's even other teams, right? Go fight this team and their security robot. And so our security robot, who's named himself MURDERBOT, is just going along with it, trying to hide his secret. And how well that goes, you'll have to watch the movie and find out. But he's just working his way through it, and hopefully, in the end, trying to preserve himself. What will happen though? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. All right, so let's discuss MURDERBOT. So with this one, I gotta say, as a sci-fi fan, I really enjoyed this one. I just thought it was so cool and so funny and so inventive. Like, the best part of this show is the perspective, because you get the perspective from MURDERBOT. And so he's there, he's making quips and inquiries about the humans and why would they want to, risk their lives rescuing this, or why would they want to do that, or isn't it funny how they can't smell themselves or something like that. He's got all of these quips about the humans, and it's always so fun. And what else? Oh, he is the security bot, so he's monitoring the security feed, for a lot of his day. And what he does is he has downloaded like a soap opera. Of course, it's some like sci-fi space soap opera that he then plays in his head. Like, we get 5 minutes here or there of this soap opera, but he becomes like obsessed with this soap opera that he watches in his head, to the point where he's like quoting it to like all the people around him and taking cues from it. Eventually someone kind of figures out like, hey, you're like saying a lot of quotes from this like weird TV show. And it's just so funny. Like, the MURDERBOT is certainly the best part of this one. He's funny, he's humorous. Like, I really did enjoy him. And that's not to mention the acting. Like, the MURDERBOT is Alexander Skarsgård, a big name, and he does a good job. Like, of course, he's kind of stiff and awkward. He's a robot in this one after all. But I think actually kind of everyone does a good job. I would say with Alexander Skarsgård, his comedic timing is really good, but I think that also comes down to editing. Like, a lot of it's just like, his quips or whatever in his head. So that also has to do with the editing process, putting that overlay of his voice as the comedic element. And so he does a good job. All the characters, I think, do a good job in this one. Also, with this story, I know there's this overarching kind of theme of him, wanting to preserve himself, but there's lots of like individual storylines in the individual episodes, and they're not long episodes. They're like 20 minutes each. And so, there's lots of things to do. Like I said in the intro, go research over there, go fight this team. Oh, here's some bugbear or something. Oh, now we got to repair the ship. And so there's always something to do. So each episode, even though it's only 20 minutes, it's just fun by itself. With this one, I had to, pause my watching for it for, months for the show to actually kind of come out, as that's how I was watching it. And so with just a 20-minute show, I think that's too little just to, incorporate into a weekly basis. But now it's all out. So this one is perfect for binging. It's 10 episodes at 20 minutes each. And it's just a lot of fun. So I would say, it's fun, it's short, it's certainly something I think worth watching. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this one. Well, certainly coming out weekly and being only 20 minutes each is not a fun time for at least me as a viewer. So hopefully that would change. But, it is what it is. That's my viewing experience. If you're watching this, you have the whole season to watch anyways. I would say, though, there seems to be like a change in the last 4 episodes. Like, it just becomes less funny in the last 4 episodes, but I guess they are, really ramping up to their, climax of their overarching, you know, storyline. So it just kind of has a different feel. Like he's not as funny in the last four. So that was just something that I noticed. But at the same time, over the whole entire series, I really enjoyed it. Overall, though, I would say there's not much to complain about. Of course, if you, I don't know, don't like the word woke, you might not like this one because it's a robot, right? They actually go to a certain place and it's like, oh, he's property, he doesn't matter. And then they go somewhere else and it's like, oh, do you want some self autonomy and self determination and stuff like that? So it does have this kind of question of how should we treat robots or even how should we run a society? Because they even go to this like corporation planet and then even the humans are owned, like everybody has a contract for 10 years or whatever to work for the company, and that means they're owned themselves. And so it's interesting to see all of these competing ideas as well. It's just you might not like what they have to say. So yeah, I wouldn't say that's necessarily a bad thing. Like me, I absolutely love that stuff. I love learning about other cultures and other possible ways of running it, right? So yeah, that is in there as well. And with that, would I recommend this? I would certainly say, yeah, it is worth checking out. It's lots of fun, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. And as for a rating, well, I'm going to give it this 7.8 because it was pretty good. And with that being said, I think that's all I want to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.